In life has taught me so many lessons that I never had to crib about it. Or even though I'm cribbing, I would crib alone. So let's say that I wanted to quit myself. So when I first came to Canada, I was doing this job at Tim Hortons coffee shop, and at the end of the day, I felt like, I want to quit. But there is this one voice in your mind that keeps telling you that, how about I go it? How about I do it one step at a time? So I never want to give someone else the satisfaction of breaking me. Only I can break myself. I am a low-key person when it comes to like I'm spending some time with my closed ones, like over the weekend. But Mondays to Fridays, I kill it. I kill it like no one else will ever do.
What do you think? What separates the professionals from someone who wants to grow but they are not there yet?
You have to start putting yourself out there already.
What would you say? How did you start working on your communication skills?
Like I said, podcasts, listening to people talking. I mean, once you listen to, right, go in front of the mirror and talk. Like before giving my interview with leading companies out there right after my graduation, I used to talk about, tell me something about yourself in a mirror like 10 times in a day. It was scripted. I would say it was scripted, but after a few takes, you'll get to know that how you could give it a good flow.
How are you, brother?
I am doing very well, sir. I'm glad to be on your podcast today. Finally.
I am glad that you have got some time out for the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would say, I mean, we were busy, right? Like we were trying to coordinate a time. But
it is
here we are finally, and you have me now. Like,
yeah, perfect. Let's get the most out of our time.
Absolutely.
Alright, so tell the viewers, tell me about yourself, your journey. How did you come to Canada?
My journey started back in 2022. I came to Canada in October 22. I came here to pursue my post-graduation in supply chain management. I did it from Hamburg College. And right after my graduation, I had like a full-time job going on. And yeah, I mean, I would say that I did mechanical back in India. And I thought that supply chain was the right course of field for me to enter into. And that's what I did.
So BTech grad, right?
BTech, yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
And you had work experience back in India or no?
Yeah, I had like a 3 years of working experience, like right after my graduation. I worked for 3 years straight. Yeah.
Okay. And you mentioned supply chain management, right? There's a lot of fuss right now about the course. So what are your thoughts on that?
Supply chain management is definitely good. I mean, you might not know, or else you might know how supply chain was on boom during COVID. Because when COVID happened, how we were getting our products, how we were getting a product shipped. Everything was supply chain. So supply chain could never stop. So I thought that was the perfect field for me to get into because I came to Canada after COVID. So supply chain was literally booming back then. So I was like, I might as well try something new in supply chain and then come here and, go where I want.
Perfect. But nowadays, if you talk about, okay, that I've done this course and I've done supply chain management, people are like, that's the worst choice for them. Because I guess that's because of the immigration, because it's easy for people to get into that particular course, and these diploma mills just took the admission and just got a lot of people in that particular course. How do you think, how do you see that?
Look, I won't talk for like a lot of people out there. For me, I knew what I wanted. Like I was in sales. I did my engineering and then I was into core B2C and B2B sales. Okay. So getting into supply chain was the right course of field for me because I did mechanical. And then supply chain was aligning with it. So that was just for me as a stepping stone in Canada. Okay, let's do mechanical or supply chain and then get into where I want to. So I just did it for the sake of doing it. And you get that 1+1 year, right? So I got that 1+1 and I was quite happy with it.
How was your student life?
Oh, it was really good. I mean, you lose track of your student life, right? So 2019, when I graduated back in India, I was into corporate very early. I would say during my 20s or 90s, I was into corporate. Again, getting into like student life, it was kind of like, some kind of thing wherein you get back in time and you realize, oh, this is what I used to do back then and this is what I have to do now. So it was like kind of demotivating because you feel like you're going backwards. But you know what they say, sometimes you have to go back in order to go ahead in life. So that's what happened with me, I would say.
Perfect. How was Canada back then? Right now, it's just, I would say it's a mess for students to be here and find a good job. How was it back then?
Oh, back then, I think back then it was same too.
Same? So when did you land in Canada?
I landed in October 22. Yeah.
22. So it was same for you as well.
Yeah, same for everyone, I would say, yeah. I was struggling to get a part-time job too, so yeah, that happened. Yeah.
But if you talk to students right now who are trying to find a job and you being at a place where you have a good job for yourself, people are like, it's really hard to find a job. What are your thoughts on that?
See, I always tell people that there is greatness on the other side. So when a thing is getting too hard for you, why are you stopping? Life is all about, making onto that next step. So everything is hard in life. Coming to Canada, like investing a lot of funds to Canada was also hard for me. But I did come to Canada, right? And I was like, I don't want to turn back. And then I did that, okay, I might as well have invested this much. How about I just try up to my maximum potential and then see if it leads to somewhere or not. If it doesn't, I can obviously go back to India. Yeah.
It's all in the mindset.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to crib about it, do whatsoever you want to do.
Either you crib about it or either you work hard for it. So in life has taught me so many lessons that I never had to crib about it. Or even though I'm cribbing, I would crib alone. So let's say that I wanted to quit myself. So when I first came to Canada, I was doing this job at Tim Hortons coffee shop. And at the end of the day, I felt like, I want to quit. But there is this one voice in your mind that keeps telling you that, no, how about I go it? How about I do it one step at a time? So I never want to give someone else the satisfaction of breaking me. Only I can break myself.
True.
Yeah, so I would say, you just need to have the right mindset to keep going.
It's all in your mind.
Yeah.
If you can figure out the way you are thinking, the way your mind process, I guess you'll figure out
exactly
the rest of the things.
That's the way of life, I don't know if I'm going to live tomorrow or not, but today if I'm living, I'm giving my 110%.
Of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So mechanical to sales, how?
Oh,
that's the biggest question of the day.
That's one of the, I would say 99% of people in my life will ask me the same question. You were so good in mechanical, you were like first class with distinction. Why did you get into sales? I would say money motivates me. So I had like 2 job offers in front of me. One was into mechanical and the other was into core sales. So let's say that in Indian rupees, mechanical was paying me around 50,000 rupees back in India. Sales was paying me double of that.
Okay.
So I am like, okay, so why not take a bigger risk? Why not go into that higher ladder? And I was good at talking to people. I was good at convincing people. Back in India, there was this company, I'm not sure if you know, LIC, Life Insurance Corporation of India.
Of course, everybody knows about it.
Yeah, so I was selling insurance policies to people out there. And I was good at convincing people. And I'm like, why not make a career out of it? And here I am today talking to you guys.
So basically, you went from mechanical to just core sales.
Core sales, yeah.
No relations to tech in that, right? Because you are selling insurance.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I guess that's because of your personal skills. When I met you first time when we talked, you are always enthusiastic about all of the things, right? Yesterday when we talked, day before yesterday, when I called you at around 10 p.m. and you were so energetic. And my first thought was, damn, he's so energetic at 10 p.m. And I told you that. How come you are so energetic? So because I believe these are your personal skills that you have worked on or you had that already, I believe.
I guess it came from within because I follow a lot of people. Like there is this guy named David Goggins. Like if people know, if a few people who are very close to me, they know how badly that I follow him. So my energy comes from within. So people back in India, my good friends, they call me the Ranveer Singh. He's so energetic every single time. And I like to carry it that way. I don't want to be like I'm a low-key person when it comes to like I'm spending some time with my closed ones, like over the weekend. But Mondays to Fridays, I kill it. I kill it like no one else will ever do. Yeah.
Perfect. So your career journey, that is so inspiring. How you started from mechanical and then just end up into sales and now you're doing tech sales, right, in Canada. What would you say is the turning point in your life that changes everything?
Whoa, the turning point in my life would be coming to Canada. Because what happened is after my graduation, I was working in B2C sales. And then I shifted gears in 2021 when I started working in B2B sales. And when I started working in B2B, I was working for a North American company named Netcore Cloud. And I was back in India. I was like in night shift. I used to log in at 6:30 p.m. at night and log out at 3:30 a.m. And I was constantly talking to North American people. It was a marketing company. So
I'll cut you right here. Before we will jump into it, I want to talk about B2B, B2C, SaaS-based cloud.
SaaS-based.
So for us, I get it what you're talking about.
Right.
For general audience, for their point of view, I want you to put some more light on what's B2B, what's B2C, what's SaaS-based. So I just want you to put a little light on it.
Well, B2C is something like, let's say a business, the end consumer is the customer directly. They are not talking to any business, they are just talking to the customer.
B2C.
B2C.
Okay.
B2B is they are talking to a business and that business is talking to a customer.
Okay, so let's suppose you have a business, I have a business, you are selling some product to me.
So
I
it's a
have a
B2B.
B2C, I am selling to the customer.
To the customer,
Okay.
yeah. So no matter where you're selling into, but you are my straight product, right? It's a B2B. And then SaaS is something which is called as a software as a service. So let's say that if Shopify is like a software, right? It's a SaaS product. So let's say if I'm into website creation or website personalization, I'm using Shopify. So that's a SaaS solution that I'm using. So that depends. So a few people who are working in Shopify will try to sell Shopify to all the website companies out there.
So there'll be B2B.
That will be B2B too, yeah. But they are selling SaaS product. So it comes like various product categories.
Yeah,
into it.
so there's segmentation there, right? You can divide these things into different segments.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Okay. Now let's just jump back to
So 2021 when I was working with a North American company, I was like, the ring is there. People are fighting in the ring. I'm helping the people fight in the ring. Why am I here? Why not go into that ring? So I was like sparring. How about I go into the ring and then fight for myself? So I just came to Canada. Like my end goal is obviously like going to the US someday. Please don't tell this to anyone. But yeah, I mean, I was like, Canada was the right step for me. And I took that step and I'm very glad that I took that step back in 22 and here I am today.
So why Canada?
Oh, Canada was the easiest country to get into.
To get in,
Yeah.
and the pathway to US?
I would say yes, because the PR in Canada, I wouldn't say it's easy, but I would say that if you work
Relatively.
hard for it, you will get it. And that's what I did. So yeah, Canada, and I had like those amount of funds, like my parents and I invested in it. And yeah, Canada was the right step for me.
Alright, so from the time that I have connected with you on LinkedIn, I've seen a lot of posts that you have won multiple awards consistently, and those awards are for like you have exceeded your targets.
Targets, yeah.
So how is that? How are you doing that good in your work life?
Well, I would say if my father always used to tell me, if a company is asking you to do 1 to 10, if you're just doing 1 to 10, you're just an ordinary guy for them. Why don't you do 1 to 15? No one's going to stop you, right? No one actually tells in my company to work beyond 5. And it's not like I'm saying you have to work beyond 5, but I'm that kind of a person who tries to, put in a lot, because then at the end of the day, I get out a lot too. So then I was doing whatever I can. I still remember I used to do my quarterly targets within 30 days or like 45 days. And I used to build up the last end of the quarter to prepare for the next quarter. And that actually helped me to be consistent. I was not waiting for the last moment to complete my targets. I was doing it within the first 45 days so that the next 45 days I could try building a good pipeline for my next quarter.
So the thing that you just said, I had one senior, he always used to tell me that something that you do for your current organization is gonna help you in your next organization.
Yeah.
So I have always kept that in my mind, and it has helped me a lot. And
Right.
The thing that you just said, that you have to pass that mark to learn more, and that learning will help you
Get to that next level.
Get to the next level, right? And what do you think? What habits and principles are there that helped you reach that particular level?
I would say one thing that really helped me is to be disciplined, because in sales, let's say that I am getting one deal today, I shouldn't be happy. I mean, You know what you did in order to get that one deal, right? So now, why don't you do the next step and get the second deal that day itself? Our mind knows what we did in order to go to that first step. Our mind will eventually find an idea to get to the second step. So in sales, I was like, I'm hitting 100, I'll hit 110, I'll hit 120. So this is the one thing that really helped me in order to be disciplined. Second, more than disciplined, I would say that you have to start visualizing yourself as to where do you want to go in life. So one of my mentors, she used to tell me that never dress for the job you have, always dress for the job you want. Because people will then start visualizing you in that way. They will start looking at you in that way. So every single day, I like people, they call me the suit guy in open text.
Yeah. You are always well dressed.
I am always
Look
wearing
at you
a suit.
right now.
Yeah.
So,
So I used to wear a suit every single day to the office. No one used to tell me to wear a suit. But I was wearing that because people started recognizing me in that way. So when the right opportunities came in, open text obviously gave me a lot of opportunities. And yeah, it turned out to be pretty well at the end of the day.
Alright, so I've got a picture of your mindset that you always want to exceed the targets, right?
Yeah.
But there will always have some sort of setback. जो कि आपको basically that comes as a learning in your life. Were there any setbacks?
There were a lot of setbacks in my life. I won't say that failures are not good. Failures are really good. It gives you a picture as to you know how you sculpt a body, or let's say that if a man is sculpting something, he will have to do a lot of trial and error in order to be that perfect mold or a perfect thing out there. So in my life, failures were there in every step of the way. But then you try to realize, okay, this is what it's not working and this is working. And I guess I relate it with sales every single day. So after making like 99 calls, that 100th call is going to give you that one meeting. That 100th deal is going to be like the actual deal. The first 99 deals are like all bullshit. That 100 deal is going to make you win. So, but those 99 deals are going to teach you how that 100 deal should be like. What should I say in that deal? So that actually gives you an idea, right?
So basically the learnings that you get from the failures that teaches you to get to the place where you are at a place where you are getting what you want. That's the right way to say it.
Exactly.
Talking about that, what do you think, what separates the professionals from someone who wants to grow but they are not there yet?
You have to start putting yourself out there already. So I would say let's take an example of your college life. So when you're in your college life, start taking or start doing a lot of internships, even though they are unpaid. Go and do it. Try to see. So I was working with a capstone project in my Humber college, and it was about logistics and supply chain, networking and production. So obviously we were not getting paid, but we were doing things for them in order to make their logistics way more simpler. So I tried doing that already. So I was talking with logistics supervisor, logistics director, VPs, and ensuring that where the vision of the company is, how they want to save money or how they want to get the maximum out of that money they have spent. So you already try getting an idea. So get into corporate as soon as you can. I'm not saying that working at a part-time job like a coffee shop or something is not going to help you. I did that. The first 3 months of my career when I landed in Canada, I wanted to get acclimatized with the Canadian weather, Canadian culture, how they are speaking, how they are doing. Let's say that I'm sitting here today, I'm asking, hey, how are you doing today? I was not doing this back in India. So I learned this the first 3 months of my life here in Canada, while studying and while working for the North American company too. So yeah, every job out there teaches you something. But while doing that, also try to chase that next goal. Try to do that earlier in your life. Then you'll obviously get to that next goal.
But I think for most of the students, they just get stuck into that part-time job circle because it pays enough to just live here.
Sustain.
Yeah. And then they are just there. They do not have that, what do you want to call it? They do not have the energy first. And then they are not pushing enough to get out of it.
See, if you have taken that risk of coming to Canada, also take the risk of getting the maximum out of your body. There's this one famous mentors that I keep watching him every single day. Go to your maximum in your 20s and in your 30s because this is the time when you can risk everything. You cannot risk after 35 or 40 when you're married. Obviously, you can risk too, But here you could go maximum. You could try working like 17, 18 hours a day, get sleep like 7 hours or 6 hours.
Because our body will function
Yes.
with that sleep, with that restlessness right now. At our 40s, I don't think
Yeah,
we're gonna function in this way.
Tell me about it. So that's crazy. But yeah, I mean, you will eventually find a way, right? And see, I'm saying that I was able to do it. I'm not saying that you should do it or someone else should do it. If I'm able to do it, I'm a very simple guy. If I'm able to do it, I would say 99 people out there can do it easily. Trust me on that, because I look disciplined, but I'm kind of lazy too at times. So don't get me wrong. You haven't seen me behind the camera yet. So yeah, so you can do
It's
it.
always like that when you see someone as a mentor. For me, you came into my life as a mentor. For me, yeah, I see you as a mentor, right? And I win. That's what I do. Harvey Specter. Eh?
Yeah.
I like suits.
I love suits. I'm a great fan of suits. I would say that I've started suits watching the 7th time now. The entire series.
Time?
Yeah. Anytime, like when I'm having food, or let's say that I'm having my sandwich or coffee in the morning, I need that one episode, 15-20 minutes of suits to start the day. Get to that vibe of corporate. Yeah.
Yeah. Harvey Specter gives.
Harvey Specter.
He's an actual vibe.
Yeah. Be a closer. I will always be closing. ABC, ABC. Always be closing. Yeah.
Perfect. So Harvey Specter is your mentor. Eh?
Harvey Specter is he is my god, I would say. I mean, the person I am today is because of that particular personality I look at. I mean, I'm not trying to copy him exactly. There should be like my authenticity and my rawness in it too. But yeah, you look at someone in your life, right? Where do you want to get into? So that person is someone like Harvey Specter for me. So I tried getting into it now.
Okay, so you came into my life as a mentor, right? And looking at you, I see you as a perfect person, right? So, but behind the camera, your life has your own
Ups and downs.
Right?
Yeah.
And people do not understand that.
Yeah.
When they look at someone on LinkedIn that this guy is having a really good job, they are like, oh, he's a hell lot of a lucky guy, right?
Yeah.
They do not understand what's going behind that.
Exactly. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
I would say you are never lucky. You are never lucky. You make your own luck, and I'm that kind of a person who believes in hard work. My mom always keeps telling me that something doesn't come easy to you. You have to work really hard for it. But once you get that, it's gonna stick to you for lifelong. So people don't actually know, for the first 2 years of my life, how I worked in 2 jobs, in a coffee shop and then with a North American company, while doing my graduation too, and living in a basement. So for the first 2 years of my life,
basements are hard,
I
bro.
lived in a basement.
Hate basements.
Tell me about it. But now I'm living in a condo. I mean, I visualize my life, right?
Yeah.
So once you do, you know actually that this person has done this much in order to get there. I show everything different. On LinkedIn, it's different. On Instagram, it's different. People don't actually post their weaknesses. Someone very close to me, like a few people in my life, they actually know about my weaknesses. But yeah, you don't actually show that. You show that too during your job interviews.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But talking about that North American company, while you were working, how did you end up working with them?
It was basically an Indian company. I was working, like they had their headquarters back in India, but they have a US entity in New York. So I was working for that as a contractual basis. So I was working like 5 hours a day, like getting that 9 hours job done in like 5 hours.
Okay.
So I was doing that in the daytime. In the morning, I used to work at coffee shop. In the daytime, I used to work for that North American company. And my college was in the evening. Humber College was in the evening. So evening 6 to 9, I was attending classes, going to the college, coming back home by around 10:30. And then getting up again at 4 o'clock in the morning and
Fully
then
packed day.
Yeah, and then opening that shutter of Tim Hortons.
and how did you get the job?
Tim Hortons.
No. The
North American one. Oh, I had like good contacts, networking. So my LinkedIn was actually quite strong back then too. So it's about the company didn't want it to leave me. The company was like, Rahul, if you could get the work done in like 5 hours, we are okay with that. But just get the work done. And I was able to get the work done.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you just mentioned networking. How did you start networking?
Networking, I started on LinkedIn. So Before coming to Canada, I mean, there are a few people in my life, they know that I've emailed or texted or sent an email to so many people that, hey, hi, I'm flying to Canada and I'll be doing my master's in supply chain. And I also wrote a very funky line, PS, my long hi is basically me trying to set a world record for the friendliest greeting ever. So people are finding it so funny. So they were connecting with me, we were chatting about how did they start their initial journey in Canada, what helped them. And then I used to take a few points from them and then, work on it accordingly. So I had like a head start. I knew that in 2022 I was coming to Canada. I started in October I was coming to Canada. In January I already started networking with the people who were here in Canada already.
Yeah. So networking is like very kind of buzzword right now.
Yeah.
And for people, networking is going to networking events.
Yeah.
Right? And just talk to them and try to sell something.
Yeah.
Alright, so what's your take on networking? Is it just selling something to people or?
No. Networking is never about selling. Networking is about giving. How much you can give out there. So I tend to give a lot of my stuff away at times. So people are actually like this, right? So let's say that I'm getting my targets done. I'm working on a few emails. There are a few people who just keep it to themselves.
Yeah.
They don't actually give out to the people. But I'm that kind of a person, help the community, help people around there. And then you start getting back later in life. Don't expect right then and there. Never expect in life. It's one thing I've learned from my life due to my personal experience too. But always be a giver. So when you are a giver, things start coming your way in infinite ways. You can't even imagine. I mean, there is a point in my life right now, so much is coming my way. I'll just take these 3 for now and then I'll focus on these later. But yeah, just be a giver, Yeah. Help people out there. Let's say that if a person is asking for advice, while giving your advice, also say that if I were you, I would do something like this. So start helping them, start sitting with them, spending time with them. Because if you will do that, that person is going to do the same thing with
someone else.
From other people too. So the world is a small place here.
Triangle scheme.
But
in a good way.
Good way, yeah.
And how do you get a mentor?
You have to start searching for it, I mean, never show your, never be kind of a fake person. I mean, people start believing in you once you know that you believe in yourself.
Yeah.
So there is this, my manager back in open text, when we were working, she was never used to ask about my professional goals because she already knew what my professional goals were. She was asking me about my personal goals, my managers, my directors, everyone. And I used to tell her my personal goals and she used to be like, okay, Rahul, you need to do this and this in order to get there. So you get an idea that people help you in that way because they are more experienced in life, right? And they actually know, oh, this guy is here with a purpose. So make sure that you have a purpose in life, what you want to get out of it. I had 10 goals written in my basement, in one of my sticky notes, 10 goals written. I won't say I completed all those 10 goals. It was very difficult, but I have 7 goals completed. And one of the goals is completed. Now I'm working with a good company as well again. So yeah, I mean, you have to have those skill sets. You have to have those skills wherein people should believe in you.
And that is how you meet the real people.
Real people.
And that is how you get a mentor, probably, yes?
Yeah.
And basically it starts with networking, right?
Yeah.
Just be out there, talk to people, don't
be a stranger.
Or believe,
Never be a stranger. Always be approachable, always welcome people, and always make sure that you're making the other person feel comfortable. You're making the other person feel respected. It's in your personal life too. It's in professional life too. So it shows what type of personality or what type of character you are carrying. Yeah.
But then you have to have some sort of communication skills, right?
Yeah.
You have to work on it.
Yeah.
It's called skill for a reason because you have to work on it.
Exactly.
What's your take on communication skills?
Back in India, I started watching podcast already. So there's this podcast, The Impact Theory by Tom Bilyeu, The Purpose by Jay Shetty, Simon Sinek, Jordan Peterson, David Goggins. I used to follow these people so damn rigorously. I was speaking like them after a few months or something because what you put into your brain goes out of your mouth. What I listen is what I say is what I become. So you need to have that thoughtfulness in mind as to what you are speaking out there. So communication, believe me, is the key. If you ask me about one weakness that I have right now, it's communication skills. You are never too good at communicating.
And is it a weakness for you? Damn, you must be kidding.
Yeah, it's a weakness. I mean, I'm not so good. I can't even frame proper sentences, like grammatically perfect sentences.
You can always improve, but the way I see you, you are really always. First step is you have to portray yourself in a very good way. You are always well dressed, and then you talk in a way that you capture someone's attention. So you are really good. Trust me.
Oh wow! I mean, I'm doing my thing, doing all I can, and there is always a learning curve, guys. And I think that I'm still at 1% where I want to be. A human mind and a human body is capable of achieving so much. I think that I'm reaching that stage, but I haven't reached there yet. Never, ever. I'm still reaching. So always be the underdog. Never reach the peak of the mountain, because once you reach the peak of the mountain, you're like, oh, I've achieved everything. No, I haven't. I literally haven't. I always want to be the underdog and keep myself humble that I want to work on things that I want to excel at.
Perfect. And what would you say, how did you started working on your communication skills?
Like I said, podcasts, listening to people, talking. I mean, once you listen to, right, go in front of the mirror and talk. Like before giving my interview with leading companies out there right after my graduation, I used to talk about, tell me something about yourself in a mirror like 10 times in a day. It was scripted. I would say it was scripted, but after a few takes, you'll get to know that how you could give it a good flow.
True.
And you have to be confident in what you're speaking, because if you win the first 5 minutes of the telephonic round, then you win the next 25 minutes. Same goes with interview too. So you have to be confident in the very first approach that you're carrying.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now tell us about your new job. You just started a new job,
Oh,
right?
wow. Yeah.
How is it? So customer success manager?
Customer success manager. The reason why I got into this job is because I was good at prospecting. I was good at initiating conversations between enterprise companies and my company too. But I used to lose touch after the initial touch point. I used to get the prospect to talk, but then I'm not the one selling or closing or that maintaining that relationship.
Alright.
And I was like, oh, I need to do something about this.
This is the next step.
Yeah, this is my comfort zone. I need to get out of my comfort zone and, be the face of the company. So now I'm into a customer success role wherein I feel like, oh wow, this is something that I always wanted to be in. I'm here, and it's all about maintaining long-term relationships and retaining that business. I hope I retain business and see where life takes me.
So now your sales have turned into tech sales, basically.
Yeah.
So how is it different from just generic sales, selling an insurance, to tech sales? How is it different?
The target persona is different, I would say. I mean, when I was selling sales, so like selling sales like B2C sales, it was like you're talking to the customer directly, right? But in tech sales, you're talking to C-suite executives, someone like a CIO, CTO, then IT directors, VPs of supply chain, director of integration. They have like 100 vendors talking to them every single day. What makes your solution stand out? What makes your product stand out? And at the end of the day, it's about the product too, but it's also about the company. Would the company really be benefited? Like, would that company really be benefited by buying us? Right? So they need to look at that too. So they have like 100 people waiting for you. If you're not going to give them business, there are 99 people who are going to give them business. So you have to make yourself stand out. So it's hard for convincing C-suite executives. Trust me on
that's
that.
what I was about to say. Like in tech sales, it is different in a way that your prospect now is well versed with the market because they are in the market, right? So in that way, from a B2C and a B2B point. Yeah, that's what's the difference, because your prospect is very well versed.
He knows everything before you know to. And it's just that how you're convincing, and never be a seller. Always be a consultant, be an advisor. So let's say that they're using a product too. Tell them that, oh, you are doing this, you can do all these things too. Don't buy us, it's fine. But then what's your future project map look like? Why don't you focus on that too? And then they'll feel like, do you have that? Yes, we do have that. then pitch in your product.
Perfect. Now it comes back to your sales
Yeah.
expertise, your communication skills, because after that you'll be able to pitch the product that you are selling, right? So for someone who wants to enter in a sales profile, in a sales job, let's suppose it's a student who thinks like he's a good for marketing and sales. For someone like them, how can they start early? What all skills do they have to acquire? What things should they start working on? And how they should basically enter in the field?
Always start with a startup company, because the culture in a startup company is aggressive. I would have to say that, but it's good too. You learn so many other things. So when I was working with a startup company back in India, I was doing the content creation, I was doing the marketing, I was doing the sales part, I was doing the product part, I was doing the key account management part. I was doing so many different things. So then after doing like 5 to 6 things simultaneously, you know what you're good at. So always be a learner, good learner. So make sure that you're talking to the target companies where you want to get. If you want to get into marketing, make a list of 50 marketing companies. If you want to get into sales, make a list of 50 sales companies. Start with a startup company, it's fine. You don't have to be with a leading company. And the leading company, when you'll go interview for that leading company, you know what they're going to ask you. Do you have any tech experience? And at that time, what are you going to say? No, right? So always start with a startup company, because you learn a lot. Then you find your niche, and then you start building in your niche. Simple as that.
And how should they work on themselves to get that first job?
Oh, you have
That's a huge question. You can talk about a lot of things
a
here.
lot of things actually.
Because
a lot
now
of
things are changing. Personal branding is a really huge thing now.
Yeah.
Right? So I think to my question, I guess personal branding you would say?
Yeah, personal branding. I mean, people won't hire you for the skills you get on the table or the talent you have. People will hire you for the character and the personality you bring on the table. Anything can be taught. Your training, you could be good at training. Skills can be taught. Talent, you can learn talent or you can work on your talent. But no one can teach you a personality, or no one can get into you to build a good character. It's you who have to build that character and that personality. So,
And that's where personal branding comes in. You can just mix all of the things up and portray and show it to the people on social media.
Exactly. And you pick up a few things from everything and build up something great.
Talking about personal branding, on your LinkedIn, you are helping students with career growth, and you are helping them with personal development as well. To them, you are basically a mentor. And why do you think you are a good mentor?
I am not a good mentor. Trust me. I mean, there are a few instances wherein after the initial touch point, I talk to them, I ask them to do this. And then they say like, okay, I've done this. Do you want to cross check it once? And I can't even respond to their messages because I'm so busy with what I'm doing in my professional life, right? So I can't even get back to them at times. So I would say that I'm not a good mentor. But I'm trying to be. I mean, it's all a work in the process, right? So
let's just wrap all of these things up and tell me about the job searching strategies, because that's what you've been doing on LinkedIn, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about some of the underrated job search strategies and how to reach out to the recruiter or the managers. What's your go-to to do all of these things?
I never follow the conventional method. So conventional method is something like you go onto the company's website, you click on which are the jobs that are available, open, and then you start applying there, tweak your resume. No one's going to respond to you, no one's going to call you back because there are 100 other people doing the same thing. So what I do is, I follow an unconventional method. So wherein I email or I send a LinkedIn note to the hiring manager, to the recruiting manager, or to the people whose job I'm going to get. Or like, let's say that ADE is the role. So I already start talking to those sort of people. So then I get an idea. So I follow an unconventional method. And my message is never too long. So if you know me how closely, I never write long emails. I crisp my emails so short. They're like, what is this guy has sent? So my emails are very short. My messages are also very short. I study about that person's LinkedIn. So let's say that there is a hiring manager who's hiring or the recruiting manager. Study about the person. Study what he's into. Let's say if he is into running, so you would ask about how. Now let's say that if I want to talk to you, if I want you to give me 15 minutes of your time, there are 10 people out there who's going to ask you 15 minutes. Why don't you give me 15 minutes? Never ask for 15 minutes. Ask for 90 seconds. Something different, right? So let's say that, hey Kamal, I'm sure you are going to get your morning coffee, which I already know that you're a fan of. While you're getting your coffee,
I'm interested already.
Yeah. While you're getting your coffee, would you mind giving me 90 seconds of your time to show you what sort of skills and the talent that I bring to the table for the account development executive role? Even though you're not able to identify, might as well give me a few pointers about your running milestones that you have been achieving on LinkedIn. See, how did I do it? I asked him something different. First is, I never asked for 15 minutes of his time. I asked him 90 seconds. I showed him what can I prove him 90 seconds. Third, I took the pressure off of that note. I told him that even though you're not able to identify my skills, why don't you give me a few pointers about your running? Because that person is into running. I studied his LinkedIn. So, that's how you ask, or that's how you approach people. Then people feel like, oh, this guy is good. This guy studied about me. Let's just talk to him. So that's how people will respond back to you.
So basically, you'll have to put some efforts, put some time to the job that you really want to get.
Yeah.
Right? You just don't go to the job portal and click easy
there.
apply and just move on
Never
to the next
ever
one.
do that. Yeah.
Because I don't think someone... So for me, I was looking for my company, I was looking for video editor, let's say. And I put a job on the LinkedIn portal.
Okay.
And we have just got the entries of like 100 people.
Oh, you got it? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not going to read all of those entries.
Obviously not.
Let's me put myself at that place.
Yeah.
And I'm in that 100 people, right? No one's going to go to the everyone's profile and check their resume, right?
Right.
So the way you mentioned it, that write a email or a message that is fully optimized, I would say, in a way to catch. Personalized is the right word, to catch the either recruiter or whomsoever you send, to catch their attention and to make them feel welcome. Right?
I'll add one more point to it. Now, let's say that you're trying to find a video editor. If there is one person out there who might study you, go onto your LinkedIn, pick up one video from it, work on that video, and try to make it more better. I'm not saying your videos are not better. Try to make it more better and then send it to you.
That way they've just showed you.
They have just showed their skills. They have showed that what they could do while doing your job.
And I am already interested. Right?
Exactly. So you will see that video and you will be like, now the conversations will start. Oh, how did you do this? Oh, how did you do that? Oh, you're a good video editor. Okay, cool. So now he's in the pool. So you might as well hire him someday.
So basically, you will have to have that sales skill.
Sales skills, yeah.
You'll have to sell yourself, your service in a way
that people will recognize you, that you are standing out of the box. Always stand out of the box. Never be the same person like 10 other people are. I'm not saying other 10 people are not good. Everyone is good and everyone has their own skills and own potential. But you need to have some curiosity, or you need to bring some uniqueness to the table, and that's what I always crave for, and that's what the world works on. I mean, people want to see your uniqueness. What is Rahul bringing to the table? What is Kamal bringing to the table? So that's how it is.
And I think it's in a way you are making things easier for the recruiter as well.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to just make their already tough life more hard, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You are making things very easy for them, that okay, this is what I can do, and to show that, you have write the message in a way to catch their attention.
Right.
So they, as in the recruiter, is already hooked to what you are saying, right?
Yeah. So I'll tell you one more story on it. I mean, a few close people in my life know that what I did. So before getting a job in open text, I emailed 50 directors and 13 of them responded back to me and they redirected me towards the HR. So the HR was like, oh, I have to call this person. So the HR texted me or emailed me and he said that you have found the right person. You don't have to reach out to any more people in open text. We are still reviewing candidates and we'll definitely get back to you in a day or two, which they obviously did. But I found the hook. I hooked them. so badly that they were forced to give me a call, and that happened.
You contacted the right person.
Right person, right. And also one good thing that I did during my interview, I won't say that this would work with every company out there. During my interview, I studied about the two people who are going to hire me. I emailed them during my interview. I scheduled an email from my Gmail. I emailed them while during my interview. So I scheduled it. So at the 15th minute of the interview, I was just looking at my clock and I was like, why don't you guys check your inbox? And they checked the inbox right in front of me. I captured their live reaction to my email. And the exact words out of their mouth were, Rahul, you scare me in the best possible way, because I studied them and I sold open text to them before even getting a job. Okay. I knew right then and there that I had this job. So they asked me one question like, how soon can you join? So I was like, okay, cool. Now I've cracked the code.
Let's start right away.
Let's just start right away.
So what's one skill that you would say that a student or a newcomer, an immigrant to work on to future-proof their career in Canada?
Take risks.
Take risks?
Yeah. You take risks. Try doing that job that you don't want to do. Try going for that career motive that you don't want to be at. Try doing different things in your life. Then you find your niche. See, everyone comes with a mindset of, getting their post-graduation degrees done, working on their PR, having that knock-B experience. Okay, I do get that you have to do that because that's the motive of you coming to Canada, right?
True.
But then try different fields. You never know, you can be good at something too. Like I was into B2C sales. After coming to Canada, like I was into B2C and then B2B. Then I was into tech sales. I was like selling cloud solutions. Firstly, I was working in marketing. I was selling to marketing companies. Now I'm working with tech companies, and now I'm working with Ford or like oil and gas manufacturing companies. So that's how I found my niche. And then now I feel that now I'm good at it. Okay, why don't I excel in it now? Yeah.
And talking about that, I have always this question in my podcast. I always talk about AI, right?
Yeah.
How is AI changing sales? Is ChatGPT helping you? Not just ChatGPT, any particular tool. Is it helping you in a way to make your work more streamlined?
It really does. A human mind cannot do all the things at once. I would say that I work on email campaigns in my company. I schedule emails. I make sure that emails go after a stipulated time. So I know the content, or I know the sequence that I need to send out that email in. But you need to take the help of ChatGPT to make it more optimized, one. Second, ChatGPT is going to give you a good flow, the opening, the ending, and the sequence of that emails. I'm not saying ChatGPT is the only good tool. There is Gemini, ChatGPT, Copilot, DeepSync too, all the other tools. But you need to give something to that in order to give your rawness to it. Until and unless it's not raw. Now let's say that there's this one word by ChatGPT in resumes which has been using a lot. I guess we were talking about it. Spearheaded. Right? Don't use that word. People will get to know that,
this is a
ChatGPT word. There is this one more word named unwavering support or unwavering. It's a very common word. Never use that. Use something else, because people will, someone like me who reads 100 or 120 or 150 emails a day, I could spot that in a second. Is this a ChatGPT written note or is this a real person writing a note? I'm not saying that you write a note all by yourself. Take the help of these tools, but at the same time, include your rawness, include your uniqueness to it, because then people will feel your authenticity.
Yeah. I always say in my videos that use AI as like base layer of creating anything, right? If you want to write an email, just give the prompt and then work on that email to give that personalized
touch to it.
Right?
After getting that content from ChatGPT too, make sure that you're working on it and trying to keep it more unique, or trying to keep it more, what I would say is more real. Yeah. People will, let's say that our tongue is not used to reading complex words.
I told
you that, you remember? When a reader is reading your email, he shouldn't be irritated by reading your email. He should feel like it's simple words you're using and it is not troubling my tongue a lot. Because if it troubles my tongue, my mind will get irritated and I'll be like, nah,
Yeah, and
That should
don't
never happen.
ask ChatGPT to write in a human way.
Human way. Obviously, ChatGPT is
Worst
not
thing
going to do that.
you can do.
Yeah, only your mind is gonna write in a human way. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah, so basically do not rely on it completely, I
Yeah, yeah.
guess. Just keep it to a level that it creates a base for you
Yeah.
to work on.
just let's say that your email is 80% effective. That thing is going to help you to make it 95% effective. Simple as that.
What do you think? AI is going to take away the jobs of people? Huge
No,
question,
no,
though.
no. Never ever, because companies out there don't trust AIs, because what I've seen is like there is this famous quote that I'm always relating myself to. People don't want to do businesses with companies. People want to do businesses with people in those
yeah.
companies. Always be the face of the company. People want to do business with you. And when people want to do business with you, your company or the company that I am associated with eventually gets benefited. So never trust AI, and AI is never going to take jobs, guys. It's a myth. Don't listen to that. Trust me. Yeah. You are safe. You are safe.
You are safe if you are upgrading yourself.
Yeah, upgrading yourself.
If you are using the AI in a
AI in an
really
efficient
good way.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. So you are doing good for yourself. Love it. I want you to give a roadmap to someone who wants to start into the sales and someone who is new to Canada, right? I want you to give them a clear picture of that roadmap. How should they start?
I mean, first of all, obviously, when you're coming to Canada, you are coming with a degree, or when you're trying to pursue a degree here, right? Focus on that. While focusing on that, find out where you actually want to go. So let's say that you have done marketing back in India. Try to find the similar courses or the similar career paths in marketing. Digital marketing 1, product marketing 2. You'll find it eventually. So try to connect with those people. See what they're doing. Be a product manager, be a product advisor. So there are different terms in product marketing, there are different terms in digital marketing. So try to get into those fields, try to connect with those people, look at their career journey, how they have spiked their career journey, and then try doing those things. Try to get certifications, try to get a lot of skills in place, and see, it's never a clear path. I would say it's never actually a clear path ever. You will find your path along the way. So for me, for my case, it was different. I was into sales. I was into like selling, right? So I knew where I wanted to go. But then if you don't have a clear path, it's fine too. No one actually has at times. But then they find their purpose along the way, and work on your resume, work on your skills, work on good networking, focus on a few things. Like let's say that today I have to do these 4 things. Are these 4 things helping me to get to the next role? If 2 of the things are not helping me to get to the next role or get to my next career transition, why are you doing it? Don't do that.
True.
I mean, you can do it after you get a job, right? But focus on the things where you actually want to be in life. Right?
Take some time out of your schedule. I get it. It's hard for students and to earn and study and find a good job for themselves.
Right.
But yeah, take some time out of your routine and then push yourself and learn new things, upskill basically. And then just get into it. That is the roadmap, I believe.
Exactly. For me, in my case, you know what I did? I was doing a coffee shop job, and then I was also sticking with my sales job too. So I was doing 2 jobs at once. If I could also do like 8-hour shift instead of 4-hour shifts of coffee shop in a day, but I didn't do that because I wanted to be around what I want to do, right? I wanted to be around that zone. So I was in that zone too while getting acclimatized to Canadian weather or Canadian culture. So I was sticking to that, which eventually helped me to land a better job right after my graduation. So I guess, yeah, that's how I did it. And you could try figuring out in your way too at times.
Everybody's like, lucky you, man.
No. I'm never lucky, guys. Ask my mom about it. So I'm never lucky.
And now, as we are at the end of the podcast, the one most asked question of all time: what would be the one advice that you would like to give to your younger self, 18 years old you? Just one.
Why didn't I come here sooner?
Is it like
Yeah.
that? Do you actually think?
I actually think, I would have achieved so many things right now if I would have come here sooner. But life has its own way of giving you things, and I don't see it that way. I mean, if you asked for advice, I gave it that way. I wish I could go back in time and undo that. But yeah, I mean, I wish I could have come here sooner, worked a lot on myself, and maybe I would have been in a better position or not, you never know. But life has its own way of giving you things, and
Start early is the advice, I guess. Then.
yeah, I mean, that's what I did, and that's why I'm here today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Absolutely.
for everything.
Thank you
And
so
it was really nice chatting you. This is the end of the podcast now.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for taking some time out of your day.
Absolutely.
And,
I really appreciated it.
It's so nice to have you. And that was it.
It was my absolute pleasure, Kamal, to be very honest. I've seen your journey, what you bring to the table, and you have been doing so many things at once. And I'm like, whoa, this guy is crazy. And I really, I'm humbled. I'm very fortunate that I had this chance to be on this podcast. And yeah, let's see how we take this to the next level pretty soon.
Thank you so much for
Thank
your
you.
time, bro.